Hi everybody, this is an early access video for the Last Leviathan. Early access version 0.1.2 build 110. Right now there are missing a couple of things. There's no voyage mode coming soon. Famous last words. Player profile aren't included yet. If you're at all unsure, don't bother. Wait and see how quickly the devs come out with updates. I am hopeful for this one because the physics are spot on. The ocean is fantastic, the way the ship moves around in the swell. I mean, you can see it here, it's just its movement's absolutely perfect. Creative mode, yeah, a bit boring. The one I've focused on is the battle seas. They do have an event going on just now, which, you know, you're meant to defeat this guy on a 2-star out of 3-star victory using a carrot class or less. Now right now you can't actually get that level. That's level 4 of ship. We can only get up to level 2 at the moment. Fastest time possible, 2 stars. You're not just fighting this guy though, you're actually fighting 2 garrisons as well. It's a bit of an ambush. I don't know if the best tactic is to take the garrisons out or just ignore them. I had a go, lasted about 30 seconds, then went, I'll maybe come back when we get slightly higher levels. Or when I get better at building ships, because my ships look nothing like this. Versus mode lets you fight your ships versus ship. So here's 2 of my ships. This is the one I actually have the most success with, strangely enough. This one's a bit of a mess. It's the same hull with extra stuff on it. A bit of a lesson for you guys. Don't just dump stuff on top of an existing hull without altering it, because it will maneuver like shit. Because this really does float like a brick. It's got a habit of wanting to topple over. This one has been surprisingly good, to be fair. So versus right now, very limited. You can get access to stuff in the Steam Workshop. I haven't bothered yet. I've stuck with the battle seas. It's not explained very well what these numbers mean. I figured it out, so just so you don't have to bother. There are 10 battles in each class. So you get maximum of 3 stars per battle. So obviously I'm a bit shallow here, and I haven't actually completed the Hulk class yet, so I'm obviously not maxing out, because, you know, if I'm maxing out 3 stars it would be 21 of or 24 of, so 22. I've dropped some somewhere. If I go into COG class, you can see how successful your ship's been. See there, this is doomed to failure, which is strangely enough being my most successful ship. 4 very, very simple things to remember with the ship. This is the building blocks, very much like Minecraft or Robocraft. You just add stuff on. That's the maximum amount of power. Power's a bad word. I would put construction points, something like that instead, because right now even the basic bits of hull have power statistics. I don't see how a bit of wood gives you power, so I think that's a poor choice of words. You don't have to absolutely max it out. There's no point really in maxing it out if like I've done here, it works reasonably well. It could be improved on, there's no 2 ways about it. It's basic, to say the least. So anyway, 4 very quick tips. You need a method of manoeuvring, so a rudder. You need a method of propulsion, so propellers or sails. If you're going to be doing sails, you need to pay attention to which way the wind's blowing. I went for propellers because I tend to keep things simple. 3rd tip, balance your ship. Right now when you fire cannon, it doesn't make the ship swing to the other side. That's the one physic that doesn't seem to be in it. If I was to fire this broadside, it would naturally impact the movement of the ship. Right now it doesn't. I'm hoping they add that, because that could be fantastic later on. Next tip, last one really. If you're going to use the telescope mode, you need to have a telescope. It seems really obvious. It took me a while to realise that that's why the T button on the keyboard was doing nothing. And it's handy for finding out information when you're playing the game, so make sure you have one of them on. It'll probably get shut off, but at least if you have it to start with, it'll make your life that little bit easier. So that's the very quick tips. I'm going to show you how you drop the ship in. You can save and load. When you make a new ship, it will force you to save it essentially anyway. I've made a few really, really horrible ships. Here's an example of how not to build a ship. Looks like it might float, doesn't it? Maybe. Yeah, watch. It'll float. Here we go. We're floating. Okay, I can even... Oh crap, the battle's still right. I can fire my guns. Yeah. Boom, boom. Really, but I've got 2 propellers on it. If I accelerate full speed, over we go. Yep. That wasn't very good, was it? Glug glug. Yeah, that's not really how you build a ship. So load up another one. It does amuse me that the very first one I built is the one that has been the most successful. I guess this is a bonus tip because I can't count. If you have your rudder sitting like down here, where it's beneath the keel, is it the keel? The hull, whoever it is, the bottom of the ship, and you run aground, you will lose your method of manoeuvring. So try to keep it level with it. There might be a reason later on in the game when they've added more content to have it sitting below. I can't really think of any advantages to that just now. But having it level with it, level with propellers, or level with the bottom, just means that you don't have to worry about shallow water. That was a mistake I made, was basically having it like that to start with. And then I added this block and shoved it on the back. Now that massively improved my ship. So let's set sail. Now this one's slightly better, it's still not amazing. Now if I press the T button, I go into my little telescope and it allows me to zoom in on things. These are gravestones essentially, and it tells you the rating on the top left for the battle that you had. So I've got 25 out of 30 stars, so I'm actually looking for a battle that had less than 3 stars. And I bet you it's all the ones that are miles away. Probably. Which are way over here. What? There you go. I did really badly with him. Now what I could do is just sail over to that one, and once I get close it'll give me the option of restarting that battle. So there's the main reason to have a telescope. It helps just that little bit to find out who's kicking about. And more importantly, if you're chasing stars, what battles you drop the stars in. Now this guy's sitting there just waiting to be blown up. He's got a telescope. And he's got a burning thing. I have no idea what the hell that is. I don't actually see any guns on his ship. We'll pop over and see him. Bottom left you see the overview of your ship. If I push forward, full ahead, I get to about 6 knots I think maximum on this. There you go, 5-6 knots. You can reverse with propellers. I don't know if you can with sails. I'm too lazy to try that. This indicates the wind direction. So if you've got sails, you need to pay a lot of attention to that. And this here is my manoeuvring. I'm pulling to the left. Now I'm turning to the right. And you can see my little ship wheel turn as I turn. And it recenters, which is quite handy. Now, I will slow down so you can see this. If you look at the mouse pointer, this is meant to help with you aiming your broadsides or your cannon in third person mode. I'm not really sure it does. That's me stopped. I just don't quite understand what the things mean at the moment. If I just keep that still. So the bottom one's maybe how level your ship is and, you know, to the water. I don't know what the right hand one would mean. Maybe need to turn round slightly. If I wait until they're all really low, will I hit? Maybe it's an indicator of how much. This isn't explained. That's why I'm having a little bit of problem with. Right, so boom, I should hit. There you go. Oh my god, I may have actually figured that out. So if you've got them as with as little white on them as possible, you might just hit what you're pointing at. I think that's maybe the clue here. Or in this case, you might not hit at all. There you go. Well, I'll reverse because I can. Oh my god, I'm missing point blank range. Now the weird thing is, in third person mode, your broadside always fires parallel? Parallel, I hate that word. But if I click on a cannon and zoom in to first person mode, left click's a single fire, boom, and space is a multiple fire. That's all the cannons on that broadside. I can actually turn, you know, you'll notice the other cannons aren't turning, but when I fire, it does fire in that direction. All of them will fire in that direction. And he's dead. Ha. Now, I think the purpose of each battle is to knock the other ship down until water can access this wheelhouse. I can't really think of anything else that could really, you know, it's kind of like Robocraft where you've got that master block in the middle that you try to protect. I'm guessing it's the same idea here. You try to protect water from getting into it. If you flip the ship upside down, you die, like I did earlier. If you get shot all the way through to it, you could potentially die, I guess. I don't know. I've never actually tested that. Again, it's not really explained anywhere in the game. I'm going to see where this one that I did really badly on has went to. I'll drop one there as well. It's probably the most horrendous battle ever, that's why. I did do particularly badly in a few of these. I guess this is one of those. Hulk class, that was maybe why. Right. That's somewhere dead ahead. So it'd be nice to be able to put a little waypoint or something, or a marker, so when you come out of this you can actually see what you're meant to be aiming at. So it's, I think, the one to my right slightly here. So I will bob over to it. When I get close to these grave markers, because I've won all, I've been the victorious in them. It's just that in some of them I've been, you know, less victorious than others. I have a feeling I remember this one where I basically had one cannon left. And I guess that's the one thing that annoys me slightly, is that when you start to lose, is there any point in continuing with the battle? Should you just surrender, which you can do in the bottom right? I mean, that I guess would be the question. I'll click there so I can restart this. You see the guys popped up over here. Re-engage and try and get my rating up. Now I have a better cannon on my right, or is that starboard? Starboard. Yeah, it must be starboard. So I tend to favour this side at the moment. So I'm going to try and get into Ivor, if I can just let him zoom in him so you can see a little bit. You see he's got a selection of various weapons on his sailboat. And he did absolutely annihilate me last time, so I'm going to try and get close. You can stay miles back and try and shoot them. It's pretty boring. These guys tend to just go round and round in circles, so the AI is not brilliant. I'm going to come up and try and kill you. He's quite near the edge of the map as well, which is a worry, because once you get out this direction, you only get 20 seconds to turn back. And to be honest, seeing a ship like mine, 20 seconds really is not long enough. Right, here we go. This is probably going to take me 20 minutes and I'll have to edit it down. Slow down because I'm bobbing up too much. First person mode. Oh, I thought that was going to hit. And here we have the problems of the sea getting in the way. I'm guessing if you've got fire cannons, you probably do a lot more damage to the sails. Or it's more like damage over time. Wow, I'm really missing. I may actually try third person view just to see if I can do a little bit better. Well, I got him that time. Let's try some manoeuvring. There you go. 20 seconds to turn round. I'm full speed ahead. I'm going as fast as I can. That's not going to stop me fighting this guy. Oh, I'm back in the zone, as it were. Slow down. Bob less. Oh my god, I'm bobbing about like a nutter. Oh, that was poor. Yeah! This is not going too well. This is probably why I got a 1-star rating last time, because he really did annihilate me. And I've got a feeling I'm going to die horribly. Let's, out of interest, let's move back to third person mode and try this. Oh, that was poor. Right. See what I mean about it just fires parallel. Son of a bitch nearly blew off my telescope there. See, I mean, I guess with practice this would be fine, but right now it just feels horrendous. Either that or my ship's just too bad for words. There you go. Can I get him now? No, not quite. I'm gonna get blown up just trying this now. Oh, there you go. But you do have to get the broadside parallel to have any real chance of hitting getting a hit on him. This is really not going anywhere near as well as I had hoped. I'll keep it in even if I lose though. When I lose rather. Oh, you son of a bitch, just die. Jump back into first person mode. Oh, there's a mortar coming in. Oh, he looked like he was in trouble there. I only have 2 cannons left on this side, and even though this one's more powerful, I would argue that jumping to the other side is going to be more effective. It's easy enough to do it. I've got to watch the zone again. Like I said earlier, it's 20 seconds to get back in, and if your ship's slow, you basically reset the fight as far as I can tell. Which is annoying if you've put the effort into actually trying to kill the guy. God, that's cool. Right, I'm pretty sure I just lost one of my cannons. Oh! Was not expecting that. Yep, lost another one of the cannons. I have not improved my result, and to be honest, I'm not surprised at all. I have just kept my rudder and my propellers. So, you know, there you go. Not the best of fights, but I'll need to come back when I've got an improved ship. I've no doubt other people will do this far better than me. Let's head back. You can actually just dock if you want to instantly repair it and then set sail. It's a bit of a cheat way. They might change that, I guess, in future. Have some sort of challenge where you can only repair back at the starting island, or you have to do so many battles without repairing, which, if you're me, is probably going to be impossible, but there you go. At least it'll be a challenge. So that's really the early access just now. The controls still need to be improved. Performance wise, it's okay. I'm running a 980, GTX 980. It's not overclocked. Oh no, it is. It's slightly overclocked. And an unoverclocked i7 60 something. The newest i7 at the moment anyway. But it's not pushing processor. It's using 30% processing power, 70% GPU. Run it at 1440p. I have run it at 4K. Again, it used about similar sort of resources, so it needs a lot of optimization. Frame rate's not brilliant. One thing I would say is when you're launching the game, you get an option for what quality you want to run it at. I would suggest just leaving it at the default one. I ran it at the maximum one. I dropped it FPS slightly. Didn't really notice any difference though. Really didn't see any great improvement. Maybe I missed something, I don't know, but keep it at the default. Bump it up if you feel you need to. But yeah, I mean, it plays okay. The physics are fantastic. It for me has an awful lot of potential, and I really hope the devs stick with it. But like Mac on Worth a Buy said, the third person controls are imperfect. I'm trying to be generous. They're difficult. I think I maybe figured them out now. Having said that, get it so that it's blank, or the circle goes pure white and then you can fire. Make sure you're aiming parallel, but it's more fun to be in first person mode. just more fun. Anyway, so there's a quick preview. I'll leave you at that. It's not really worth buying just now unless you are desperate for a sort of Minecraft floating about aimlessly in a very small sandbox that you can't really do anything in. I got it on Steam sale. I don't regret it because I've had a few hours mucking about in it. I will have to try and make a better ship. I may well steal some ideas off the Steam Workshop, that's what it's for, after all. But yeah, pretty good fun, all in all. Fingers crossed they stick at it and they improve it over the coming months. I really hope this isn't a game that's just dropped like a rock, because it has a lot of potential. And the basics are all here, it just needs to be added to. We just need more content. And what I really hope comes next is cargo. I would love, and I don't know if this is a plan, but I would love there to be some sort of cargo mechanic. Whether when you blow someone up, you have to get the contents that's dropped back to an area, and obviously that means you need to factor in a cargo hold, which when loaded will affect the way the ship handles, and you could be attacked on the way back. I think there's loads of things they could do with this, but yeah, I mean, it could be fantastic, and it's certainly good fun just now. Okay, so that was a quick overview. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.